drum on this because we need to stop Netflix Narnia from destroying the incredible legacy of author C.S. Lewis, one of the greatest fantasy writers of all time, one of the greatest Christian minds and thinkers of all time.
Now, I heard about this. Apparently, good old Aslan is being sex swapped with a woman. If you've ever watched the Chronicles of Narnia, the dude who plays him in his voice, it's a great voice actor. It's the same guy, I forget his name. He used to do all those cheesy action movies. He was in The Dark Knight. He was the guy who trained Bruce Wayne.
And they're doing this intentionally. This is all a demoralization psyop. They love taking everything before, twisting it into something evil, twisting it into something feminist and whatever their woke ideology is of the moment, because they know that if they can kind of turn these narratives, they can corrupt it, and therefore they can corrupt society.
Well, that's what they did with Lord of the Rings, with the Rings of Power. If you want to call it woke or not woke, whatever, but you can certainly say that this is not Lord of the Rings for no other reason than the trash writing. Trash show. Made reaction videos of the episodes. I take everything I just say back. I love that show. I could not stop laughing, but really bad show.
It's like Tolkien said back in the day, a fellow of inkling friend of C.S. Lewis, that evil cannot create, it just corrupts.
Oh, that's what I was just talking about. They put that comment in every comments of those episodes. Evil cannot create, it can only corrupt. Did you guys know that for most of the people watching YouTube videos, only a small percentage of those people are actually subscribed to those channels? But subscribing is really quick and easy. All you have to do is first to make a YouTube account, which is free, and then after that, go down to the video that you're watching, hit the like button, which goes a long way in helping out the algorithm, and then go over and hit the subscribe button. After you've hit the subscribe button, click the drop down arrow and click the option that says all, so that can notify you whenever a new video from this creator has dropped. Subscribing is free, and making a YouTube account is also free. It allows you to keep up with all of your favorite content creators, and of course it goes a long way in helping out my channel, and I really do appreciate it. So with all of that being said, back to the video.
And that's exactly what we have with Hollywood. They don't make anything anymore. If you notice, there's very few original stories. It's always
he's right.
Adapting something again, or rebooting something, or remaking something. They have no ideas. These people are bereft of ideas. And, that's why we're winning all the time. And I am making my own fantasy settings. If you
I don't know how. Are we winning? I hope so.
For sex swapping Aslan in Greta Gerwig's Netflix's upcoming Chronicles of Narnia adaptation. That's right, you heard it.
It's a Netflix? I didn't know that. I thought it was going to be a movie.
They're sex swapping Aslan. They're going to turn Aslan into a woman. Of course,
Stupid.
It's Greta Gerwig, and that's what she does. So who's this Crystal Hurd person? Insights on C.S. Lewis, of course, and let's see here. It's just another white woman trying to be woke. Yay, cool. Yeah, that's going to go great. So, over a month ago, it was originally reported Meryl Streep was being cast, yes, Meryl Streep of all people, to play a sex-swapped Aslan. Nexus Point News reported an offer has been made to Meryl Streep to portray the central character in the series, Aslan the Great Lion. This is so painful, of course, because Aslan is a representation of God and Jesus Christ, very, very directly.
That's true, he is. C.S. Lewis was a very strong Christian, and if you even just watch those movies, the first one's pretty good. I like the second one. I liked it a lot. I thought it was pretty solid. I don't know if it was as good as the first one. The third one is trash. Very boring, bland plot, hardly no action, very uninteresting characters. First two aren't too bad.
And so doing this is absolute heresy, and the intention is heresy. The intention is to destroy Christianity, make my mark. I mean, these are evil people. This is Netflix, guys. You got to remember this. Netflix had it.
Well, there's good and bad things on Netflix. There's a lot of stuff that I like. There's some other stuff that I don't like. So I don't know if I would blame Netflix.
adaptation. It's a meme. This report was followed up by one from Deadline, which claims Oscar winner Meryl Streep is in talks to play Aslan the Great Lion and Greta Gerwig in Netflix's Narnia movie. We have confirmed with sources. Reaction to these rumors has been completely negative, of course, with Narnia WebX poll revealing that over 65% of respondents were extremely concerned about the rumors. Of course, another 18% were feeling pessimistic. You only got 15% of people saying they're cautiously optimistic or otherwise, and only 5% really excited.
10%, my man. 10%.
They're missing the target demographic. Greta Gerwig, of course, is the director of Barbie, if you remember, an uber-feminist movie, which was...
I heard that. I heard good things about that, though, too. I didn't see it myself because, you know, I'm a guy. I always say that. It doesn't matter. I should see it because I review movies and stuff. I'm just kidding.
all about just like vapid feminism, and it's just so stupid. And that's exactly what she likes to push. She's trying to push this agenda way a lot. And this is going on with Narnia. Honestly, this is something Netflix needs to hear about it. Write letters to Netflix, tag them.
That's stupid. That's not going to make any difference. I will say, this poll means nothing. These people don't care about your opinions. They don't care about how much outrage they are. The only thing that matters is the agenda.
Tell them to not make this movie. It's so bad right here. They need to know, honestly, that people are not going to accept this or tolerate it. So here's Dr. Crystal Hurd. She says in an editorial on Narnia Web, she says there's positives for sex swapping Aslan. Of course she thinks there's positive, right?
So this is this chick right here. Ooh, not a very flattering picture.
I'm sure. So this is what she says is the story is fantasy, right? And they love to do this. So interesting. It's fantasy and make-believe, right? Should not be held to the same standards as the catechism. Interesting stuff right here. They always do this. It's like they go, it's just fantasy. Why are you even so concerned about it? Well, why are you so concerned to do it in the first place? It's always a gaslight with these people.
They said the same thing about Star Wars. Like the moment they made changes and people got outraged, the immediate response was, it's just space wizards. Why are you outraged about space wizards? He's right. It is gaslighting.
Why do you have to change things? Why do you have to erase culture? Why do you have to try to make it your own and subvert expectations if it's not a big deal? So if you think it's not a big deal for real, why are you even arguing about it? Because they know it's a big deal, and they know they're doing it intentionally. They know there's evil to it, and that's exactly what they're doing. So Lewis himself made it abundantly clear on the stories that they're about evangelizing the Christian faith. This is the whole point. On Stories and Other Essays in Literature, he wrote, then, of course, the man in me began to have his turn. I thought I saw how stories of this kind could steal a past and a certain inhibition which paralyzed much of my own religion in childhood. Why did one find it so hard to feel as one was told one ought to feel about God or about the sufferings of Christ? I thought the chief reason was that one was told one ought to. An obligation to feel can freeze feelings, and reverence itself did harm. The whole subject was associated with the lower voices, almost as if it were something medical. But supposing that by casting...
Oh, man, C.S. Lewis, you're missing me. Oh, man. The alcohol has just destroyed my brain cells. He's a very intelligent person. I am not, as you can tell. It's kind of going over my head here.
These things into imaginary.
I got the evangelizing the Christian faith part. I was with you up in there. It's like, let's make this and use it to tell stories that resemble things that happened in Scripture, and we'll tell this fantastical story in order to share the good news and that kind of stuff. And then he starts going down all this other stuff. It's just like, wait, whoa, hold on a second. You're using big words. I'm but a simple pirate.
Well, stripping them of their stained glass and Sunday school associations, one could make them we could have peace in Narnia, and you change that. Why this is so dangerous. Hurd then cites the aforementioned essay to claim that Lewis did not set out to write an overtly Christian tale. Yeah, right. She wrote, Lewis, some people seem to think that I began by asking myself how I could say something about Christianity to children, then fixed on the fairy tale as an instrument, then collected information about child psychology and decided what age group I'd write for, then drew up a list of basic Christian truths and hammered out allegories to embody them. This is all pure moonshine. I couldn't write in that way at all. Everything began with images. A fawn carrying an umbrella, a queen carrying on a sledge, a magnificent lion. First, there wasn't even anything Christian about them. That element pushed itself of its own accord.
No, it didn't.
So originally, he just was writing a fantasy story. But then, because Christianity is such an embodied part of him, it became part of the story very naturally.
Is that what she's saying, or is that what C.S. Lewis is saying?
And that's what good writing is right there. When you have things naturally in a story, this is how you know it's good.
She quotes Lewis. I guess he did say that. I didn't know
writing.
that.
But it doesn't mean that that's not there. This is what she's arguing right here. It's not overtly Christian. Yes, it is. It is 100% so. She just took this out of context to try to change things, and this is exactly what these people do all the time. My gosh.
I can't stand it when people will take stories like this and they'll be like, no, it doesn't have any Christian inspirations at all. They do it with The Lord of the Rings, too. The Lord of the Rings has massive Christian implications. It's not as overt and obvious as the C.S. Lewis stories and the Chronicles of Narnia and stuff. You see it all throughout The Lord of the Rings. You got the ring, which is the embodiment of sin. That's why everyone wants it so badly. It's so alluring and attractive. Frodo is a Jesus figure. He's the only one that can bear the burden of sin. He's the only one that can bear the ring. Gollum is the symbol of fallen humanity. He is the symbol of humanity that has taken sin, and this is what sin does to you over time. It makes you weaker, decrepit, struggling, and you turns you into a monster. This is what it does. Gandalf is a Christ figure. He dies, and or there's the Battle of Helm Deeps. On the third day, he returns and saves the day. He dies and is then resurrected. You have all of these Christian types of metaphors in The Lord of the Rings, very overtly. And Tolkien was a devout Catholic, if I'm not mistaken. He was.
If you've ever been on,
I had this chick in high school.
X, when you're dealing with a non-Christian, they always go like, "Oh, don't judge anyone, bad Christian." You know exactly what I'm talking about. This is what they try to do.
Yeah, most of the time when someone says "don't judge me," it's another way of saying, "Hey, don't hold me accountable in any way, shape, or form for any of my actions or decisions. Let me act and talk with complete impunity." There was this chick that I knew in high school, and she would literally go on and on about, let me not be graphic, about giving oral and swallow, she just loved it, that kind of stuff, and that kind of chick. And the C.S. Lewis books came up, and because that's around the time the Chronicles of Narnia and stuff was coming out, and everyone's like, yeah, this is Christian inspired, and she swore up and down, no, it's not. It's just like, no, how could this be? Because Christianity's evil and it's bad, but this is cool, so how could those two ever coincide? And it's just like, yeah, okay, someone's got a chip on their shoulder.
While the inspiration came to him as images, at first makes it abundantly clear he did set out to write a Christian tale. In The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, Aslan informs Edmund and Lucy that they will meet him in their world. He is known by another name. There I have another name. You must learn to know me by that name. This was the very reason why you were brought to Narnia, and that by knowing me here for a little while, you may know me better there. It's clear he's referring to Jesus Christ. Heard's claim is objectively not true. From there, Hurd argues that the magician's nephew, Aslan, exhibits female traits. Here we go. They're transgender. Given he sings Narnia into existence and then instructs Diggory to retrieve an apple that will heal his mother. She claims it's no stretch of the imagination to consider a female character birthing one of the worlds. Yeah, but this is what God made the world, and he's male. And period. That's it. I mean, this is so crazy. Or one of the worlds nursing a sick person back to health. These are, in fact, very feminine qualities according to convention. My gosh, this is crazy. To both Egyptian and Hindu mythology. What does this have to do with the Egyptian or Hindu mythology? These people are nuts. Feature a lioness as symbols of power, community, and fertility. This is not a Hindu story. C.S. Lewis is not Hindu. This is insane.
This is pretty crazy. I can't believe they were doing this when I heard about it. I say I can't believe it. At the same time, I guess it makes perfect sense because you have to take everything that's old, that's good. And it's not just Christian stuff like The Lord of the Rings or the Chronicles of Narnia. It's everything. It's all forms of entertainment, media, movies, TV shows, gaming, you name it. There is no creativity anymore in Hollywood and these industries. It's all about propaganda. It's all about pushing different types of beliefs and messages. And because of the confines of how our culture operates now and all of these rules that you have to follow, don't say this, don't do this, you'll offend everyone, all creativity is siphoned out. And so because no one can truly express themselves in a creative, artistic way anymore, they instead have to take things that are considered creative and artistic and manipulate them and mold them in order to just push out content, essentially. So this is going to fail badly. Even if the story's good, there's just going to be a large number of people who are just going to not watch and protest for this reason and no other one, because after all, the C.S. Lewis stories and the Chronicles of Narnia largely appeal to faith-based Christians. And it might be different if it, say, was The Lord of the Rings, which isn't a little bit more subtle about some of the stuff, or any other story. But, I mean, you just go down the line. Doctor Who, Wheels of Time, you name it. They've just tarnished it all. So this is crazy. This is going to fail. It's going to be interesting. I may watch it and review it. We'll see how bad it gets. But, guys, that's the video. If you liked it, please hit the like and subscribe button. And, of course, as always, thanks so much for watching, and have a great freaking day.